Whoever's seeing this right now, can you stick around? I know you're seeing this for a reason. And I want to share something with you. Let me guess, your life's been hard lately. You've been going through a lot of things. Or maybe life's been good. I don't know, but life has been lifing. And I want to remind you something. That God gives his toughest battles to his strongest warriors. And I want to remind y'all that when you grow more in the truth and when you start following God more, when you start reading the Word more, when life starts to get harder, it's because when you follow the truth, the lie is going to get bigger from the world and from the enemy. And I want to remind y'all that in every time of the day, there's always going to be a light. At nighttime, you got the stars, you got the moon. During the day, you got the sun. There's always light, no matter what you're going through. But obviously, do we look for that light? Because maybe right now, you may not be hearing from God because he hasn't been hearing from you. Maybe right now, you're focusing so much on the mess rather than the message, the test rather than the testimony. And whatever you're going through, know that you may be going through a bit of a burden right now because the blessing is going to be greater. And I want to remind y'all that, like I said, God gives his toughest battles to his strongest warriors, and the enemy sees that you're a threat. The enemy sees you following God. The enemy sees you struggling right now, and he's saying, man, I'm going to make him keep focusing on that. I'm going to make him keep sinning. Look at Job in the Bible. God looked at Job and said, man, he's a pretty righteous guy. And then the enemy looked at him and said, I'm going to make him sin. I'm going to make him fall. And God was like, okay, because he knew that Job would make it through. And just like you, whichever you're going through right now, God doesn't see you, the enemy sees you as a threat, and God sees you as his secret weapon. And God's going to use that weapon in ways that you're never going to expect. So my friends, I want to remind y'all that when you wake up every morning, we need to start treating every day as a gift from God. And when you wake up every morning, the enemy's going to see you, and he's going to say, okay, I got another plan for today to get him to mess up, to get her to mess up. And what are you going to do about it? Because you need to stop waking up in your morning, picking up your phone, but start picking up the words. Start following God from the moment you wake up. God is the beginning, the end, the first, and the last. And I think that's a sign that we need to do the same thing. We need to start with Jesus and end with Jesus. And just like Paul says in the Bible that we need to fight the good fight and run the good race, that fight's going to be bloody. The enemy is going to scrap, but the battle's already won through Jesus Christ. In that race, people are going to cheat. In that race, people in the world are going to try and run that race for a worldly prize, just like that verse says, but we're running for the eternal crown that's in heaven one day. And it's going to be hard to get there. Jesus said we're going to be persecuted for following him. He didn't say it was going to be easy. Your cross is going to be heavy, but Jesus knows you got what it takes to carry it. Be the hands and feet and make heaven crowded, y'all. And just to remind y'all that we do have to keep following God even when it gets hard, because you may have the faith of a mustard seed, but it doesn't mean anything if you don't water it. And just like Jesus on the boat with the disciples were so focused on the storms and everything going on in life, but Jesus was focused on their voice. And it's the same today. God bless you.